Welcome to the Catholic News Herald Update. I'm David Haynes. The holy season of Lent has begun with Ash Wednesday and the distribution of ashes on the foreheads of the penitents who are starting on a 6-week journey of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. At St. Patrick Cathedral, Bishop Peter Jugas started his day distributing ashes for St. Patrick's School students, teachers, and families. Now, his preparations for Lent actually got underway last Sunday when he joined Eastern Rite Catholics for a special Mass with their shepherd, Bishop Bohdan Danilo. That was in Charlotte on what is called the Sunday of Forgiveness.
The Catholic Church is a communion of local churches, Eastern and Western, all in communion with one another, united with one another in communion with the Pope of Rome. Now, the most familiar liturgy for Catholics is the Latin Rite, but there are also about 22 other Eastern Catholic churches, and they have their own liturgies, their own spirituality, their own theological, canonical traditions.
The true light who enlightens and sanctifies everyone who comes into the world.
The rite that you witness today is the Greek rite, or the Byzantine rite. It's the descendant of the Greek-speaking Christians, centered especially in Constantinople, which is modern-day Istanbul in Turkey. And the St. Cyril and Methodius took that rite, that liturgy, and evangelized the Slavic nations.
The Great Lent is to prepare us for the Holy Cross, the Triduum Paschale, and for the Holy Resurrection. I'm afraid that if today we would go here on these streets, Christ would not come in a Bentley, Mercedes-Benz, or any other way. He will be one of those people probably at the main market of Charlotte, sitting and begging. I pray, Bishop Peter, that your diocese, the diocese that is growing day by day, as the Acts of Apostles are saying about the communities, and why they grew day by day, as well as our community here of St. Basil in Charlotte, because they were meeting at the breaking of the bread, the same meeting we are doing now as a community.
In the Eastern tradition, we begin Lent on what's called Clean Monday, 2 days before Ash Wednesday in the West. The Sunday before Clean Monday today is called the Sunday of Forgiveness. So our Lord says, you know, before you give your gift at the altar, leave your gift there, go and reconcile yourself to one another. Ask forgiveness from one another if you have anything to be reconciled with, anyone to be reconciled with, and then you can come back and offer your gift to the Father. So the gift that we offer is our prayers, our fasting, our almsgiving. But in order to do that well, we have to forgive those that we have wronged, and we have to receive forgiveness as well.
This past Sunday at Our Lady of Lourdes Church in Monroe, the pastor, Father Benjamin Roberts, delivered a stirring homily on the topic of racism, and he used examples from his own parish. In addressing the problem of racism, Father Roberts referred to the gospel reading for that Sunday, in which Christ urged his followers to remove the splinter from their eyes before attempting to remove the board they see in the eye of a brother.
There are some who want separation. There are some who want segregation. There are people outside of this community who will fight against our unity. They will say to me and to you that they know better. We will say, we know each other. We will say that we want the vision of God's kingdom. We want the power of God's mercy and the light of God's glory to burn away the splinters in our eyes, our minds, and our hearts. We want to see Jesus.
Text of Father Roberts' homily will be in the next edition of the Catholic News Herald. Audio can be found on the Our Lady of Lourdes website. The 15th annual Bishop's Youth Pilgrimage takes place on Saturday, April the 6th at Belmont Abbey College. Bishop Peter Jugas is encouraging middle and high school youth to join him at the Abbey for a day of prayer and fellowship. Now, this youth event is a component of the annual Eucharistic Congress, and it shares the Congress's theme, which this year is Stay With Us, Lord. As in the past, diocesan youth will enjoy live music, a vocations fair, and motivational speakers, as well as a Eucharistic procession on the historic Belmont Abbey campus. For details, go online to goeucharist.com. And finally, Benedictine Father Kieran A. Nielsen died peacefully at Belmont Abbey on February the 27th. The Benedictine served for nearly 60 years as a priest. Father Nielsen led an active and inspiring life. Among his ministries, he served as a sub-prior and formation director in the monastic community. He was a chaplain at Belmont Abbey College and an instructor at Sacred Heart College, and also a parochial vicar at St. Michael Parish in Gastonia. He was an outgoing, friendly man with an extensive circle of loyal friends. His wide-ranging travels and gregarious nature made him the Abbey's best-known monk and goodwill ambassador. Father Nielsen was 86 years old. May he rest in peace. Remember to visit the CatholicNewsHerald.com website for the latest Catholic news from the Diocese of Charlotte. I'm David Haynes. God bless.